Okay, so let's continue with the number 6. So this was a sequence problem. So we are given two terms. L1 is 1, L2 is 3. And then the other terms are defined by these two terms or previous two terms. Because if you look at this equation, we are told L of n plus 2 is equal to L of n plus 1 plus L of n. So if this is the nth term, this is in the right bit after, which is n plus 1 term. And then this is going to be the next term after this one. So the term that you are going to find in every time you are adding two previous terms, basically. So we start with L1. Okay, so the L1 was like 1. And then L2 is 3. And if you want to do L3, so you just add these guys, which is 4. And if you want to continue this, you will see the sum of these two will be 7. But when you keep adding these numbers, it will be getting harder and harder when the numbers are getting bigger and bigger. So which is why we don't want to do this, to be honest. Since we are looking for the number of even terms in this whole sequence, we just need to see how many odd and how many evens do we have on that list, right? So which is why I will just find out their parity, basically. So 1 is the odd number, so 3 is also odd number, so 4 is even, and then 7 is odd. Okay, so that's even. And if you continue, like even plus odd would be another odd, which is, you can see that 4 and 7 is 11. That's an odd number. And when you add odd by odd, so you should be getting even. And then even and odd will be odd. And then you will get even, odd is odd. So the next one is going to be even. So it is actually continue a nice pattern. So you start with the, like you can take a look at a couple different ways. You start with these three terms, like 2 odds, 1 even, 2 odds, and 1 even, and 2 odds and 1 even. Okay, so if you divide 23 by 3, so 20 goes into 3 goes in 26 times, that's 18, to 22, which is 7 times, 21, 3, which is 4 times, and then you got remainder of 1, meaning that this pattern will continue 674 times, and then there will be one more term after. So if you have this 674 times of these three terms, which means only one of them are even. So which means 674 of those will be even. But when you start the one more number, which is going to be 23rd like term, you will start with odd numbers, so which is not even. So which is why our answer is going to be still 674. So whenever you have question like this, especially choice are off by 1, so you have to be careful. This was, I guess, one of those challenging ones. Okay, so that was number 6. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, the number 7. So we have a square rotated 20 degrees clockwise about its center to obtain the other square. So think about this is the center of the ABC. Okay, and what we are doing, we are rotating this guy, and then the point A is gonna become point E. So I hope that makes sense so far. So you're rotating this way using this point as your center. So clockwise, so the point B will be F, and then point C will be G, and same thing. So what we want to find is angle EAB. So EAB, which is right here, is given. That is the angle we are looking for. So it is kind of tricky. Some people may want to go with 20 immediately because we are rotating 20 degrees, but it's not the case. So 20 degrees is actually going to be this angle, okay? Because you're rotating 20 degrees. So if I take this as OA is rotated clockwise 20 degrees on clockwise. Okay, so this way, which will make that angle in between OA and OE is 20 degrees. So since this is a rotation, so OA to OE is the same distance. So these two guys are equal. So if you want to make a bigger figure so you can actually see it a bit better. So let's try that. So it would be something like this. So we have point A right here, E right there, and that's all. So if this is 20 and then this is equal to each other, so subtract 20 from 180, which is 160, divided by 2, you will get 80 right here and then 80 right here. But at the same time, since the angle in between AO and AB is actually the half of the 90, which is 45, so then what we are looking for is going to be 80 minus 45, which is 35. So which is choice B. Again, the angle right here in red, like this part, is 45 degrees because this will be my diagonal since that will be passing through my center. And then angle A as a whole in that triangle is 80. So one part, which is the red part, is 45. The blue part should be 35. So that was the number 7.